The moment David Kane stopped on Route 7, his past stopped hiding. A storm rolls through the valley, rain hammering the asphalt of Route 7, the forgotten highway that cuts through Pinewood Forest. Most locals avoid it after dark. Too isolated, no cell signal for 12 miles. David Kane, 40 years old with grey creeping into his fade, drives a white pickup returning from a furniture delivery 2 counties over. A photo taped to the dashboard shows his daughter Maya, 15 years old, box braids, attitude, the only person in the world he still talks to, though even that's complicated lately. Then he sees it, flashing lights, red and blue strobing through the rain. A patrol car overturned and wedged against a tree, smoke rising from the crushed hood. Every instinct screams at him to keep driving. Not your problem. You don't do this anymore. But his foot hits the brake. The wreck is worse up close, shattered glass glittering in the mud, the driver's side door crumpled, strong smell of fuel in the air. David pulls a flashlight from his jacket and shines it through the broken window. Inside, a woman in her late 20s, police uniform soaked in blood. Her badge catches the light, Officer Jamie Cortez. A deep gash runs across her shoulder and upper arm. Her eyes flutter open. "Help's coming," she whispers. "Called 20 minutes ago." David checks his phone. No signal. He looks at the empty road. No headlights, no sirens. If help was coming, they'd be here by now. "They're not coming," he says quietly. Her eyes meet his with fear and resignation. "Then I guess this is it. Tell my mom I tried." David stares at her, really looks at her. He sees the uniform, the badge, the determination, even as she's fading. Someone who didn't deserve this. He takes a breath. Not tonight. David runs back to his truck where a black duffel bag lies hidden under canvas top, something he hasn't opened in 5 years, swore he never would again. He unzips it. Inside, tactical medical supplies, everything he promised himself he'd never use again. Jamie's eyes are closing. "Hey," David's voice is calm, authoritative. "Stay with me. What's your name?" "Jamie." "I'm David. I'm going to get you out of here, but you need to stay awake. Can you do that?" She nods weakly. David assesses the damage. Deep lacerations from broken glass with steady bleeding, but the car's leaking fuel, and if it ignites, they both die. He has maybe 3 minutes. This is going to hurt. He cuts away part of her uniform, pulls out hemostatic gauze and packs the deeper cut as Jamie gasps. His hands move with precision, muscle memory from another life. Pack the wound, apply pressure, wrap the bandage. Clinical, perfect, like he's done this 1,000 times, because he has. The fuel smell grows stronger, sparks visible near exposed wiring. "We need to move. Now." He cuts her seatbelt and helps her out, supporting her weight as they move away from the wreck. 20 feet, 40, 60. Behind them, the patrol car explodes. "Get down!" David pulls Jamie behind a fallen tree as heat washes over them. For 3 seconds, everything is fire and light and thunder, then silence, just the rain and crackling flames. Jamie stares at the burning wreck, then at David. "You're insane. I get that a lot." He checks the wound, still holding. "I'm going to help you to the road. Ambulance will find us there." They start moving, slow going with Jamie in pain but functional. "Your hands," Jamie says after a while. "The way you worked on me. That's not first aid training." David doesn't answer. "Who are you?" "Just a guy." Bullshit. Even injured, she's still a cop. "Just a guy doesn't carry military-grade medical supplies." David keeps walking. "Are you running from something?" He stops, looks at her with rain dripping from his face. "Aren't we all?" They reach the main road where David flags down a passing semi-truck. 10 minutes later, sirens, flashing lights, an ambulance, and 4 police cars. Paramedics examine the wound and field dressing. One veteran EMT stares at the bandaging. This is combat-level trauma care. Whoever did this knew exactly what they were doing. A woman steps forward, Lieutenant Angela Price, late 40s, 20-year veteran. She studies David carefully, seeing the calm demeanor, the old scars on his knuckles, how his eyes track every officer's movement. "What's your full name?" "David Kane." "Where are you from, Mr. Kane?" "Here, Pinewood County, lived here 5 years." "And before that?" "I delivered furniture. I found an officer. I helped. That's all you need to know." Lieutenant Price nods slowly. "We'll need a statement. Tomorrow, Pinewood Station, 9 a.m. "Mr. Kane," Price calls as he turns to leave. "Thank you. You saved one of ours tonight." David doesn't turn around. Just did what anyone should. 5 days later, Lieutenant Price sits in her office at 2 a.m. staring at David Kane's file. It's too thin. Driver's license issued 5 years ago, employment records, one dependent, Maya Kane. Before that, nothing. She types, "David Kane, military records, 0 results." Credit history only goes back 5 years. People don't just appear out of nowhere, especially not with the kind of training she saw on that highway. At County General Hospital, Jamie Cortez sits up in bed with her left arm in a sling. Lieutenant Price walks in carrying 2 coffees. 5 years ago, David Kane didn't exist, Price says, opening her tablet. Jamie's eyes narrow. "What do you mean?" "I mean, I can't find him before that. No military records, no employment history. Someone built an identity from scratch." Price swipes to another screen. "We pulled data from your dash cam. You were following a lead on the Martinez crew when someone ran you off the road. Professional job." "I remember." "You called for backup. Dispatch sent 2 units. Price's voice hardens. Both units received a secondary call minutes later. False alarm. By the time they realized it was bogus, you'd been down 40 minutes. The room goes cold. "Someone redirected them," Jamie says quietly. "Someone in this department." Price leans forward. "And then a man with no paper trail and professional medical training just happens to be driving by at exactly the right time. You think he's connected? I think it's one hell of a coincidence. He saved my life." Maybe that's the point, establish credibility. David's house is small, 1 story with peeling paint. It's 6 a.m. Maya walks into the kitchen wearing headphones, not looking at him. "Morning," David says. She grunts, grabs a yogurt. "I made eggs." "Not hungry." "Maya?" She stops and turns, anger in her eyes. "Why are people asking about you?" David's hand freezes. "What?" "At school yesterday, detectives. They pulled me out of class and asked me questions about you, about how long we've lived here, where we came from before." "What did you tell them?" "What could I tell them? I don't know anything." Her voice rises. "You never tell me anything. We moved here when I was 10, and you act like our life before that never existed." "Maya!" "What did you do, Dad?" Her voice cracks. "Why are cops asking about you?" "I didn't do anything bad. I helped someone, a police officer. Now they have questions, that's all." "That's not all. You work a job where you get paid cash. We don't have family. We don't have old friends. It's like you're hiding something. Then tell me who you were. Tell me something real." Silence. "How do you tell your daughter that you used to be a soldier who did things he can't take back? That your wife died and you couldn't bear to be that person anymore? That staying hidden is the only way to keep her safe?" "I can't," he says finally. Maya's face hardens. "Then we have nothing to talk about." She walks out. The door slams. His phone rings. Unknown number. "Yeah?" A man's voice, professional and clipped. "Mr. Kane, or should I say, Staff Sergeant Brennan?" David's entire body goes rigid. "Who is this?" "Someone who knew your wife. Someone who's been watching you." A pause. "We need to talk. Tonight. Riverside Park. 8 p.m. Come alone. If you don't show, your daughter will start getting very interesting visitors at school." The line goes dead. His past just found him. That night at Riverside Park, a man steps out of the shadows, white, late 40s, fit with military bearing, Major Ethan Cross. David's blood turns to ice. Hello, David. Been a long time. Not long enough. Cross smiles. Civilian life agrees with you, though furniture delivery? That's quite a step down from special forces. What do you want, Cross? To keep your daughter safe. Cross moves closer. You've done a good job staying hidden. 5 years, new name, very impressive. How did you find me? Cross pulls out his phone, showing a photo from the local news. Local man saves police officer. You shouldn't have helped that cop, should have kept driving. She would have died. Yes, just like Alicia. David's fists clench. You had my wife killed. She was investigating things beyond her scope, digging into operations that threatened important interests. Cross steps closer. I gave an order. Clean, professional. Car accident. Very tragic. She was doing her job. She was investigating me. Cross's eyes narrow. Your wife figured it out and was going to expose everything, so I made a choice. Cross pulls out his phone again. Maya walking out of school. Timestamp from today. David's vision narrows. You touch her. I won't have to. If I go down, I have insurance, people who will make sure Maya's life becomes very complicated. Foster care, investigations. The system will eat her alive. Cross puts the phone away. Walk away. Disappear again. New city, new name. And I leave Maya alone. Why not just kill me? Because I'm not wasteful. I'm giving you a choice. Cross turns to leave. Oh, and that cop you saved? Jamie Cortez? She's been asking questions too. Hospital security is surprisingly easy to bypass. He walks away into the darkness. The next morning, Pinewood Police Station. David sits across from Lieutenant Price with a recorder on the table. Price slides a folder across containing photos, the medical kit from David's truck, a military medical manual, a military ID photo. The face is younger, but it's unmistakably David. Staff Sergeant David Brennan, Special Forces, served 8 years, honorable discharge 6 years ago, married to Alicia Brennan, undercover narcotics officer, who died in a car accident 6 years ago. Investigation closed, no foul play suspected. David's jaw tightens. Except Alicia was investigating the Martinez crew when she died, and 3 weeks later you and your daughter disappeared. Price leans forward. Why? David looks up. Because the system failed her. Someone killed her and made it look like an accident, someone with connections. So I took Maya, and we disappeared. Why not come to us? How did I know you weren't part of it? And now, someone found you? Last night, Major Ethan Cross, federal agent. He's been running the Martinez operation for years. My wife figured it out. He had her killed. Price's eyes sharpen. Can you prove it? Not yet. But he's threatening my daughter and Officer Cortez. Price stands and pulls out her radio. This is Lieutenant Price. I need immediate protection detail at County General Room 304 and at 47 Maple Street for a minor. She looks at David. You're not running anymore. We're going to handle this the right way. At the hospital, Price explains everything to Jamie. Cross, the corruption, the threat. So what's the plan? Jamie asks. You stay here with protection. No, Jamie stands. If Cross is threatening me, that means I'm a problem for him. David speaks up. Cross thinks I'm going to run. If I go to him instead and make him think I'm willing to deal, we might get him talking. You want to wear a wire, Price says. I want to finish this. For Alicia. For Maya. Jamie crosses her arms. I'm going too. You need backup. You're injured. I'm functional, and I'm a cop. This is my case. Price looks between them. Okay. David wears a wire. Jamie provides surveillance, and I have tactical units on standby. Over the next 2 days, Jamie finds the dispatch officer who redirected her backup, he confesses. Price pulls Cross's financial records, shell companies, offshore accounts, payments matching Martinez shipments. David makes the call. Cross, it's Brennan. I've decided I don't have a choice, but I need assurances about Maya. You have my word. Not good enough. I want it in writing. Silence as Cross calculates. Fine. We meet tonight. The old textile mill on Route 12, 9 p.m. Come alone. That night, the old textile mill looms against the dark sky. David pulls up, the wire taped to his chest. In his ear, Jamie's voice, "I have visual. You're clear." Inside, Cross steps out from behind a support beam with 2 armed men. "Search him." The men pat David down, find the wire, rip it off and crush it. Cross smiles. "Did you really think I wouldn't check? I trained you, David." "I guess old habits die hard," David says. "Alicia always said I was too trusting." In the hills, Jamie hears the panic word and grabs her radio. "Move in, now, all units." Cross circles David. "You know what your problem is? You think there are rules, the world works on power, I have it, you don't? Is that what you told Alicia before you killed her?" "I didn't kill your wife. I gave an order. Someone else cut the brake line." Cross pulls out a weapon. "But you should have stayed hidden." He raises the gun. Then the lights go out. A shot rings out. 1 man goes down. More shots. The second man drops. Cross fires blindly. "Who's there?" "Police!" Jamie's voice echoes. "Drop your weapon!" Cross backs toward an exit, firing. David dives behind machinery. "Backup's 90 seconds out," Jamie shouts. "We just need to keep him pinned." Cross's voice cuts through darkness. "You think you've won? I have insurance. If I go down, 20 people go down with me." "They're already talking. We have your dispatch contact, your financial records." Silence, then running footsteps. David takes off after Cross with Jamie following. They burst outside where Cross is sprinting toward a black SUV. "Cross!" Cross stops, turns, raises his weapon at David. Then headlights. Multiple vehicles converging. Price's voice over a loudspeaker. "Drop your weapon. You're surrounded." Cross looks at David, at the police vehicles, then lowers his weapon and raises his hands. Tactical officers swarm and cuff him. Price approaches. "You two have a real problem with following orders." "Yeah," Jamie says, blood seeping through her shirt, the wound reopened. "We should work on that." Price's radio crackles. "Lieutenant, we've secured the suspect, and we found documentation, hard drives, names, transactions, everything." Price looks at David. "It's over, really over." For the first time in 6 years, the weight lifted. Days later. At the Pinewood Police Training Center, Maya walked into an empty classroom. David stood waiting. They haven't really talked since the mill. She's been staying with Lieutenant Price's family while everything got sorted out. "Hey," David says. "Hey." She stays by the door. "They told me everything. About Mom, about Cross, about why we left," Maya says, taking a few steps closer. "I should have told you years ago," David says. "Yeah, you should have." Her voice isn't angry anymore, just tired. "But I get why you didn't. You were trying to protect me." "That's not an excuse." "I know, but it's a reason." Maya sits on a desk. "The lady from Child Services said they might separate us." David's heart stops. "Maya, I told them no." She looks at him. "I told them you're the best parent I could have, that you gave up everything to keep me safe, that you're a hero." "I'm not." "Yes, you are." Her voice is firm. "You saved that cop. You stopped the bad guy. That's what heroes do." David's throat tightens as he sits next to her. "Your mom was the hero. She was trying to stop bad people. I just finished what she started. You both were." Maya looks at a photo she's holding. Alicia, young and smiling. "I miss her." "Me too. Every day." "So what happens now?" Maya asks. "Now we figure it out. Together. No more secrets." "Even if it's hard?" "Especially if it's hard." "Are we staying here?" "Do you want to?" "I have friends here now. School's not terrible. And Lieutenant Price is cool. So, yeah. Then we stay." David pulls her into a hug. She hugs back tight. "I love you, Dad." "I love you too, Maya. More than anything." Months later, David stood at the front of a classroom filled with young recruits at the Pinewood Police Training Center. Field trauma care isn't about being a hero, he told them. It's about staying calm when everyone else panics, doing the next right thing even when you're scared, because sometimes that's all it takes to save a life. He demonstrates proper wound management as the recruits practice and ask questions. One young woman raises her hand. "What if we make a mistake?" David sets down the training materials. Then you make a mistake, but doing something is always better than doing nothing. I've made plenty of mistakes. People still lived because I tried. After class, Jamie appears in the doorway in full uniform with her detective shield. Nice class, Professor Brennan. I'm not a professor. You're teaching close enough. She walks in. You ready? Maya's game starts in 30 minutes. They drive to Pinewood High. Inside the gym, they find seats in the bleachers. Maya sees them from the court, waves, and grins. The game starts. Maya plays hard, fast, and confident. She moves like she owns the court, calling plays, driving to the basket, pulling up for jump shots. Pinewood wins by 12. Maya scores 18 points. After the game, she runs over, sweaty and happy. Did you see that three-pointer in the fourth quarter? Saw it, David says. That was beautiful. Maya hugs him, then hugs Jamie. You guys want to get pizza? Always, Jamie says. They walk out together, David, Maya, and Jamie. Not related by blood, but connected by choice, by shared trauma, by love. In the parking lot, Maya runs ahead to the truck. David and Jamie walk slower. You know what's crazy? David says. 6 months ago, I was terrified every day, waiting for the past to catch up. And now? Now I'm just living. Really living. For the first time in 6 years. He looks at her. Thank you for that. For giving me a reason to stop running. You gave yourself that reason. I just refused to let you do it alone. They reach the truck where Maya's already inside, scrolling through her phone. David opens the driver's door and looks at Jamie. You know you're stuck with us now, right? You're part of this family. Jamie laughs. Good. I wasn't planning on escaping. After pizza, David drops Jamie at her apartment. Friday, 7, dinner at our place? I'll be there. Friday night. Jamie arrives at 47 Maple Street, carrying wine and pie. The house looks different now, freshly painted with flowers in the front yard. It looks like a home. Maya opens the door, smiling. You came. Inside, photos line the walls. Maya at school, David at the training center, family photos building themselves one picture at a time. They eat dinner together. Maya talks about school, David about his training class, Jamie about her cases. After dinner, Maya does dishes while David and Jamie sit in comfortable silence. She's a good kid, Jamie says. She is. I think about what Alicia would say about all of this, David says quietly. What do you think she'd say? I think she'd say it's about damn time I stopped hiding. Jamie smiles. Sounds like she was smart. The smartest. David looks at Jamie. You saved me once, David. Now let me help you live. Maya pokes her head in. Who wants to watch a movie? They watch something stupid and funny. Maya falls asleep with her head on David's shoulder. When it ends, Jamie stands. I should head out. David carries Maya to her room and comes back. Thanks for coming, this meant a lot. Thanks for inviting me. I needed this too. Same time next week? You're not intruding. Your family. Family shows up. She walks to her car and looks back at the house. Lights on, warm, safe. A home. Later, that night. After Maya goes to bed, David sits in the living room. He picks up a photo of Alicia. I finished it, he says quietly. Cross is in prison. Maya knows the truth now, and she's okay. She's thriving. He traces the edge of the frame. I'm okay too, finally. I'm not hiding anymore. I'm just living. Being a dad, teaching, helping people. The things you would have wanted me to do. His voice cracks. I miss you every day, but I'm not drowning anymore. I'm swimming and I've got people swimming with me. He sets the photo down and walks to Maya's door where she's asleep. He takes her phone, sets it on her nightstand, pulls the blanket up and kisses her forehead. Love you, baby girl, he whispers. Love you too, Dad, she mumbles. David goes to his room and lies down. The rain had stopped. For once, the road ahead was clear. No nightmares tonight. No fear. No weight pressing down. Just peace. For the first time in 6 years, David Brennan sleeps through the night. If you made it this far, you felt every moment of David's journey. From that rainy highway where he chose to stop, to this quiet bedroom where he finally found peace. Hit that subscribe button for more stories like this. Stories about real people making impossible choices. Stories about fathers and daughters. Stories about courage, redemption, and the power of showing up even when every instinct says run. Drop a comment below. Tell me where you're watching from. Are you in the US, UK, somewhere else entirely? You're not just viewers, you're part of this community. And this community shows up for each other. Remember, courage doesn't retire. It just finds new battles. Some people run from their past. Others face it head-on and refuse to let it define them. Be like David. Show up. Even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. I'll see you in the next story.